Hi, my name is David Sachs. We just returned from WPPI in Las Vegas this year, where we caught up with some of the award winners from the Portrait Masters 2024 competition. It was so much fun to chat with them and learn a little bit more about how they created these beautiful masterpieces that I'm so excited to share with you today. I'm here with Mitzi Starkweather, Grand Champion of the January 2024 Portrait Masters Awards. Congratulations, Mitzi.
Thank you so much.
So, Mitzi, can you tell us a little bit about your inspiration for this piece? Obviously, it's such a powerful piece. Tell us a little bit about the story behind it.
Absolutely. So, about a year and a half ago, I faced breast cancer. I chose to go flat after that. And what I found through that journey was that it really made me have to look at myself and accept myself in a brand new way. And so my self-portrait journey has definitely been the number one thing that has helped me figure out like how I feel about this situation, work through my emotions and just show up and look at it, right? And a big thing I like to say, especially to my students and to all the photographers I work with, is we have to shine a light on our shame. And when you're a photographer, we have a physical light that we can shine on the things that we want to hide or we're ashamed of. And I think when you bring something shameful to the light, it's like a cockroach. It just like scatters away, you know?
Sure.
And so I found that in my own practice to help me get used to my new body, you know, and things like when the Mayo Clinic says that if you don't get reconstruction after breast cancer, you're disfigured, it kind of messes with you, right?
I can imagine.
And especially with like my female identity and all that. So throughout that process, self-portraits got me through. That portrait means the world to me because that mannequin in my studio, she's been with me for almost a decade and she's always my stand-in when I'm focusing for my self-portraits.
Yeah.
So, but I realized that in the last year and a half, I had kind of looked at her with contempt because I thought she can wear dresses that don't work on my body anymore. And so in the self-portrait, I kind of just wanted to make my peace with her and say, you know, like, I don't have breasts, but like you don't have a head. And with my head, I can make whatever reality I want, because I think so many photographers don't do self-portraits and they're afraid of it. And so I want to encourage them to do it because it only helps you connect with your craft and your clients better.
What would you recommend for photographers who are wanting to get into self-portraiture at that level? What's a good first, second, third step for them?
Okay, I say go whatever visuals inspire you. So like I love movies, some people love magazines. You know, if you're looking at something or an article of clothing or something that just really lights you up, bring that into your self-portrait and then just set up something and try to make an image version of a feeling and just go with it and have fun and play, set yourself timer, and then look through all those photos, even the blinks and the ones where your weird outfit is falling off weird and you're like, ugh, you know, and just look at them and just get used to seeing yourself, because the more we can just get used to seeing ourselves, the less we're afraid of it.
That's amazing. I'm here with Steffi Blokvitz, who has won first in the Portrait Masters for the wedding category. Congratulations, Steffi. Tell us a little bit about the inspiration for this portrait. It's such a beautiful portrait. The symmetry in it is just gorgeous, and I love the high angle. Tell us about how you captured it and just the inspiration leading up to it.
So what I enjoy really doing in wedding photography, because it can get a long day and a boring day.
Yeah.
So to keep my spirit up and to get my inspiration up, I always scout the location. So when I entered this hotel, I'd never been there before. It was in the Swiss Alps where I'm based at. So I saw this room with that cool shape and I was like, oh my God, I want to shoot something here. Yeah. So later at night when they had actually dinner, I went with my assistant and set everything up so I can just steal them away from the dinner for 10 minutes, lay them on the floor and then edit the hell out of this photo.
And so a lot of times, especially in an industry like weddings, it's so easy to get burnt out. And I love that you were able to turn a potential burnout situation into inspiration to produce art. Can you maybe speak to other wedding photographers who might be going through that? They're like, I don't know how I'm going to keep on finding enjoyment in this.
Sure. So for me, it is such a good idea to set a creative goal for every single wedding. Yeah. So what I'm trying to do is try something new. Every single wedding I go to, pushing myself a little bit above this boundary and getting my brain a bit to work as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't. Let's be honest here.
I am here with Hannah Narette, who has won the Creative Portrait category at the 2024 Portrait Masters. Congratulations, Hannah.
Thank you, David. Thank you.
Hannah, can you tell us a little bit about the creative process in creating this piece? It's such a beautiful piece.
Thank you. Yeah, so the image is of a genie in a bowl.
Yeah.
So it builds on that old fairy tale from 1001 Nights.
Yeah.
I wanted to do a little bit of a more modern take on it. So instead of this classic Arabian oil lamp, the genie is coming out of a beer bottle.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get a little bit of a play on, alcoholism and what the promise in a bottle and may seem like it's fulfilling your wishes at first, but then, maybe there's a backside to it as well. So that's sort of where the idea came from. And then the model in this picture is actually a guy that I used to work with, or he used to work for the same company, but we didn't really know each other.
Yeah.
So I've been sort of checking him out in the corridors, thinking that would be a good model for this piece.
Yeah.
But it took a while for me to work up the courage to really go up to him and ask if he wanted to be my model. I'm really glad I did, because he loved it and he aced it, like he was so good, and I'm really happy with how the piece came out.
And I love that idea too of it forcing you to get outside your comfort zone a little bit and to actually physically ask someone, a stranger, to be vulnerable in front of you, another stranger. Do you have any words of advice for maybe other photographers who have had their eye on someone for a while and just how to kind of build that courage to ask?
I have asked people in the past to model for me, people that I know already, so this was the first time I asked a stranger. But since I know that everyone I have ever asked has been happy to have been asked and they've all been glad to do it, I was kind of picking the confidence from there, thinking that for most people it's probably a compliment, if someone comes up to you and say, I think you could be a great model, right? So I don't think you should be afraid of asking. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? You get a no, right?
They
and
say
that's
no.
not the end of the world. So So just do it. Yeah, that's my advice. Just do it.
I'm here with Hannah Narette again for her second category win in children's portraiture. Congratulations again,
Thank
Hannah.
Yeah, it's crazy, huh?
Yeah. So Hannah, this is a beautiful piece. It's such a great storytelling piece too. We have this trunk and these three subjects. Can you tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind this piece?
So the two boys in this picture are my sons.
Yeah.
So this is an image that really close to my heart, because it's my own kids. So obviously I will love it. And the cat is sadly not ours, but we borrowed it from our friends who live close. So we're cat watching it sometimes. Maybe, or cat sitting maybe.
Yeah.
I just wanted to do something that was fun and playful with these three, very funny, very cheeky characters. They are. So it's actually a composite, this one. So it's made out of quite a few different source images. I didn't really know what the setting would be when I started out. I knew I wanted those three in the chest, but I didn't really know where to place it. So I just shot it on a plain gray background. And then I sort of created it in Photoshop, adding the different elements in the foreground and the background and around it. And I'm quite happy with the results.
Yeah. Working with kids and pets, what would you say to an aspiring photographer who maybe needs a little help in getting them to wrangle appropriately?
I think what you need to do with kids is have the right mindset, because, Mom, Dad, we're going to do a photo shoot, said no 4-year-old ever, right? They didn't choose to be there. And you need to remember that. Like, you can't get frustrated with kids for not following directions and doing what you want them to do, because they did not ask to be there. Someone else asked them or forced them to be there. So I think that's the first thing. Just remember that and then play with them. Make them do what you want by playing with them. Find, funny exercises for them to do, or make them pretend that they are going to jump out of that chest and scare you. I think that's what we did, if I remember correctly. Or that they're in a competition and like who can look the happiest in this picture, something like that. So there's lots of fun little tricks that you can do. So as long as you remember to not just give directions but actually play, then you're good. You're good. And with animals, just lots of treats. Just give them lots of treats.
I love that. I'm here with Hannah Narette for her third Portrait Masters category win. I'm almost tired of saying this, Hannah, but congratulations.
Thank you. I'm not tired of hearing it.
Yeah. So this was for pet portraits. I know in the previous video we were talking about kind of children and pets, working with them. This is a triptych of the same cat, and the reason I love this, we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, is I love that you're able to take this kind of meme of like a gangster cat and just turning it into something more wholesome and artistic. Tell us a little bit about your inspiration for this piece.
So this inspiration was mostly a classic cartoon strip, you know, the 3 or 4 different frames of something that really ends in something funny happening. So that's what I wanted to do. And we had this beautiful cat visiting, so I just wanted to do something with him, and I took a lot of pictures, and then I think the final frame where he's looking into the camera, looking really grumpy, and I was like, that's the winner. I needed to do something with this. So then I just thought, maybe this could work. So then I just started to play with him, like I had a toy that I was waving in front of him to make him go like this, and obviously gave him lots of treats, because that's what you have to do with animals. And in the end I got 3 frames that I could actually use and put together. So the toy is actually composited in afterwards, so he wasn't playing with that dog, but I just wanted that little bit of a comic side to it as well, since it's a dog that is actually pushing off the table. I thought that would be funny.
Did you go into it knowing it would be a triptych or a series of any number of images, or were you going into it more wanting that one image and then finding the story as you were working through it, or did you have that story first?
For this one, it was the story first. That's what I set out to do.
In terms of assembling a triptych in general, any advice for other photographers on how to introduce those storytelling elements from one image to the next?
Make sure that they work together. Make sure to plan it out and don't make it too complicated. Like if you have 3 very different looking shots, it's going to be kind of difficult to get a good flow and get them to work together. So stick to something simple and something that's really like a common theme among those 3 images. Then I think you're good.
It's amazing. Thank you so much, Hannah. I'm here with Whitney Minton, who has absolutely destroyed the children's portrait category at the Portrait Masters here at WPPI. She has had 4 in the top 20, including the first place award as well. Congratulations, Whitney.
Thank you so much.
So excited to chat more about this piece with you. It's your daughter, right?
Yes, correct.
Awesome. Tell me about that, about having a subject who is always there, always down to play, and is your kind of person.
Muse. She's my person. She's definitely my person. She is in a lot of my imagery, just simply because she's phenomenal.
You were talking about lighting a little bit earlier, and about how you're a little bit of a lighting geek.
Lighting.
Tell us about your usual lighting setup, and if it was any different.
I don't have a usual setting light. I put light where I want light. I'm very like. So I have a minor in physics, and I worked at a light spectrometer company, coding spectrometers. I see light differently. I mean, I see it as
literally
physics.
Right.
Like I literally look at the photons where they're bouncing, and I think like, where am I going to put light? I knew it was going to be very dark, and I knew those black curls were going to be probably clipped, especially how dark I wanted it to be. So that was really important to me. I really wanted to make sure she had like a little bit of carving, but I didn't want to backlight her at all, and I didn't want her to have any rim light, but I wanted those curls to stand out. I just wanted
and
those.
They did. They came out beautifully.
There was I was very happy with that. And
stay tuned for more interviews and stories just like these in the future. Can't wait to share.